Welcome into another video here. We're talking about NFL football. We're talking about Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles. And I already posed the question of the title of this video. Is Saquon Barkley what the Eagles needed to get over the hump? And I think the short answer is no. And before you already jump on me in the comments, I think the strong word, the key word here is needed. I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles needed Saquon Barkley to get over the hype. I think, if you look at the Packers game, I don't think they needed Saquon Barkley to win that game. Yes, I know he scored 3 touchdowns, but I think there's a lot of guys that still could have did well enough to win the game. And I know you might be like, this guy's crazy already, but take a look, just take a gander at a different game in the NFL that happened, and look at the Monday Night Football game between the 49ers and the Jets. And look how well the 49ers offense still operated without CMC. They did just fine with Mason. They maybe ran a little bit different of a scheme, and the Eagles probably would too if they had a different running back, but it still worked. And you could say, well, that's because their system's so good. But that just proves the point that having a good running back isn't really good for you unless you have a good system. I mean, that's why I look at CMC and the Panthers, look at Saquon Barkley and the Giants. It didn't really pan out as well as maybe some thought it would, or maybe as well as you think it could, right? And now you look at Saquon Barkley, the Eagles, you look at, in the short sample size, you look at CMC on the 49ers and how well their career now has blossomed, right? And I think that proves the point that you don't necessarily need such a dynamic running back. You don't necessarily have to have a dynamic running back to put you over some kind of hump to make a Super Bowl or to win a Super Bowl or to go to a Super Bowl. Especially look at the Chiefs, who did it without some kind of dynamic running back. Like, Pacheco was good. I'm not going to sit and tell you he was bad, but he wasn't some CMC level guy. He wasn't some Saquon Barkley level talent. It was just a 7th round pick out of Rutgers, and Isaiah Pacheco was enough to get the job done. And I could argue he played better than CMC in a Super Bowl. CMC fumbled in that Super Bowl, right? What I'm trying to get at is when you just break it down in the grand scheme of things, power rating rise, what team can beat what team, I don't think, and it shouldn't for you, it shouldn't, the running back shouldn't matter that much when you really break it down in a power rating wise, which team is better. And you already might be mad at me, but I can give you an example. When CMC was ruled out, the line in the 49ers-Jets game went from 4.5 to 3.5, and there was a lot of people I know bet the 49ers instantly at 3.5. That number shot right back up to 4.5. There's a lot of smart people out there that knew CMC being out didn't really matter. At least it didn't matter 1 point. It wasn't worth 1 point towards the power rating. That's why they bet it. And that's why they won. That's why just the running back, when it comes down to it, doesn't matter. And look, the running back should be grouped. When you look at teams power rating wise, it should be the quarterback, obviously. The head coach at some point should be looked at. But when you look at running back, the running back should just be grouped in with the trenches. It should be quarterback, trenches. That's almost the first 2 things you should be looking at in good teams. And especially in college football, but in the NFL as well. And I think when you look at trenches, the running back, for me at least, just gets grouped in there. I just add the running back as part of it. I don't know if a lot of people do it. I don't think the average fan does that. I think the average fan looks at a team's quarterback, a team's wide receivers, and a team's running back and think, wow, this team's really good. Kind of like what they're doing with the Texans right now. And I think that's just wrong, ultimately. That's just a wrong way to do it. If you want to rate these teams the correct way against the spread, right? It's just the wrong way to do it. Which team would be favored against which? Which team is more likely to be which team on a neutral field, at home, on the road? The running back doesn't really matter. So was Saquon Barkley the need that they needed to get over the hump here for the Eagles? The answer is no. But it's a really big and a really good one and a really good get. And it's proven to be working so far. But it wasn't a need. I'm Josh Wissey. Thank you.